Hi, I'm Adrienne Akinsete. In this video, I will share with you how I clone basil. Yes, I grow basil for cooking and I clone it using my Aerogarden and a Grow Anything kit. And I'm going to share that with you. I have gardened most of my adult life and I have grown plenty of basil. And most of the basil that I have grown from seeds has been a very small leaf basil. But I would go to the grocery store and the basil was always big leafed and taste extremely good. So what I've started doing is taking that exact basil plant and cloning it so that I can get the basil that I love right on my kitchen counter. Stay with me and I'm going to show you how I do that. Today I will show you how I clone basil. I was introduced to hydroponic gardening when I bought an Aerogarden harvest kit. And it came with culinary herbs, which I grew, and they were a big success. Then I bought the Grow Anything kit and decided I would clone my basil. And that was a big success. And so that's what I'm going to share with you. So I have some cones, 6 of them. My garden holds 6 from last year, and they're still in good shape. So I will use the cones, the 6 cones from last year. In addition to the cones, there are 6 grow sponges. Now the grow sponges will be what I use to put the clip cuttings in. There's also the plant food, and that's you'll need that for sure. That's one of the reasons I buy the kit, is to be sure to get the plant food. And those little guys are going to go over the cones so that light does not seep into the water and cause algae. I won't need the little domes. Those are for when you are planting seeds. You want to keep the top moist. But I won't be planting seeds. I'll be taking clippings from the basil plant. The instructions do include information on how to clone plants. So if you want to do that, you can review those instructions. So the first thing I'm going to do is lower the pH of the water. My tap water comes out at about 7.8 or 9, and for hydroponics, the pH needs to be between 5.5 and 6.5. So I've added a product called pH Down, just a tiny bit, not too much. And I'm going to fill my container with water. That'll mix the pH down through the water. And I'm going to use my pH meter in order to record the pH. And looks like it came out at exactly 6.0. So once I've pH balanced my water, the next thing that I'm going to need to do is soak the sponges. The grow sponges come dry. So I'll just grab a cup and I'm going to use the pH balanced water in order to soak the grow sponges. Now you don't need to soak them very long, and it's morning time and I am getting ready to go to work as I'm making this video. So I'll just leave the grow sponges in a little bit of water and I'll continue to prepare for my day, and then I will come right back. Okay, now the grow sponges are moist. They're pretty much wet all the way through. The next thing I will do is cut the grow sponges lengthwise. Now I'm going to cut them lengthwise so that I will be able to place a single cutting inside the grow sponge. Now I've been growing hydroponic this past year, And I've had a lot of success, as I said, with the culinary herbs. Sometimes I plant them in the Aerogarden, and sometimes I've planted them in tubs. And I would love to share with you exactly how I do that. So if you'd like to see me continue to show how to grow culinary herbs and lettuces hydroponically, just leave me a comment below. And please subscribe to the channel. And I'll definitely keep showing hydroponic herbs as well as the cooking videos, my healthy lifestyle videos. So this is a basil plant that I bought from my local grocery store. It cost me about $4. And prior to taking the cuttings, last night I watered it very well because I wanted the plant to be extremely hydrated before I take the cuttings, because the plant will go into a slight bit of shock when you take the cuttings. So it needs to be as hydrated as possibly. But then eventually the stem will start soaking up the water and the nutrients, and the basil will start to grow. Now I'm going to clip off the larger leaves, and I'm going to set them aside, and I will use them in salad, and I will cook with them. So what I will have left on the plant is about 4 leaves, 2 little ones that are just starting to come out, and 2 that are slightly bigger, and then about an inch or so of stem. And that inch of stem is about the length of the grow sponge. And so I'll slide it into the grow sponge, and then I will slide the grow sponge into the cone. And once I put the grow sponge into that cone, I'm going to need to put that collar over it. So the collar, I found the easiest way to put the collar over the sponge and the cone is just to snip the collar and then just slide it right over. So I'll be putting that collar on in just a second. So I've been growing these culinary herbs. Some of my favorites to grow are dill and peppermint. I use those quite a bit in my recipes, so I do enjoy growing those. And as I said, I've been able to grow them hydroponically. I've been able to grow them indoors, sunny window, and I also have a few grow lights. The nice thing about the Aerogarden is it comes with its own lights, and it comes with its own timer. So the lights cut on and off automatically, and all you have to do is remember to water when the water goes down low, which usually it takes about a week once the roots get established on a plant before you have to water it again. So it's a really easy way to get started with hydroponics. So once my little cutting is ready, I will put it in the Aerogarden. I'm going to move this garden over just a little bit so you can get a good look at the Aerogarden harvest. Now it comes with 6 holes that I will use to plant the basil. Now you can plant different herbs in different holes. In fact, the kit that comes with the Aerogarden has different herbs. It has a couple of basil. I believe it had definitely had the dill. It introduced me to how fast and prolific that the dill will grow. Some mint and maybe chives also. So you can grow a combination in your Aerogarden, but for my little garden here, I have had a lot of success just growing the basil, and I do use a lot of basil. So as I clip the basil leaves, I will put them in a bowl because, as I said, I'm going to use them to cook with and also actually to garnish a dish tonight. So it's important that you look for 4 good leaves. And once again, I'll show you how I just snip the large leaves off. And I'm going to leave 4 little leaves, 2 that are fairly small and 2 that are slightly larger. And the stem should be about an inch long. And I'll put the stem in the grow sponge. I'll put the grow sponge in the cone, and then I'll cover the cone with there goes my stem. Then I'll cover the cone with the little sleeve so that no light will go down into the water and start algae. So it's just that easy. I want to make sure that the clipping is in there well, so I'll get it down in there well. So I've had a lot of success, as I said, growing hydroponically, and I've had a lot of success indoors with lettuce. So I enjoy growing various types of lettuce. I've even grown tomatoes indoors in the wintertime. Now, the tomatoes are not as sweet as the ones that grow in full sun in your garden, but they are very tasty, and they definitely taste better than the tomatoes that you buy at the store. So I've enjoyed gardening this winter hydroponically, and now I'm going to get this my herbs started again so that I'll have fresh herbs for cooking. So there's a little hard water stains that have come from using this garden a few times. I'm going to fill the reservoir with the pH balanced water, and there's a little bit left in the cup also from where I soaked my sponges, and I'm going to use that water too. There is a little, you can't see it, but there's a thing inside that says fill water to here, so you can see exactly how much water to put in there. So now it's time to just plug in the garden, hook it up, and position it on the counter or position it wherever you want it to grow. So I'm just going to move it in position, and to get it started, all I have to do is press and hold the button, the start button on the front, and I'll zoom in so that you can see those buttons on the front, and also turn on the light. And as you see, there's a little green light there. It's an indicator, and there's like 3 settings, and that middle setting says herbs, and since I'm growing herbs, I'll leave it right there at the middle setting. So I can just lower the light down so it'll be closer to the plants, but you'll see me raise that light as that basil grows, because it will definitely grow. I will position it, and I believe it is time to let the basil grow. This is March 16th. Don't forget to add the nutrients. So I'm going to add a cap full of nutrients just right to that reservoir, to the water, in order to get the herbs off to a good start. So this is March 16th, and I will check back. I will record the dates and add them so that you can see how long it takes to really grow the basil. And in the meantime, I'll use the basil from the plant that I cut from. There's still plenty to go. So this is the basil setup. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe and comment if you'd like to see more of these type of videos.